Honestly, I just don't feel like putting on the headset. Sometimes it's just hard to put on the headset. And it feels like sometimes it's like a lot of work, even though really all it is like turning on a fan and putting on a headset. But I don't know. This is easy. I just start this game, then I start the stream, and then boom, we're in it. So last time we were attempting to go to the moon, and I made this. And on paper, it should totally work. This is unusual. But in reality, it didn't work so well. I'm gonna shove this in here. There. Okay. Let's just get this. Make this look pretty. There we go. Good enough for government work. And, what went wrong with this last time? I wish I had struts, because that would make this a little less flimsy. I guess what I should do is just deal with it and move these up, and then it should be a little more stable that way. Thank you. Stop doing whatever you're doing. Very annoying. Oh, because it's attached to... attached to this rather than this. That's fine. Whatever. It should work a little better. What's our 25 parts? I mean, way under mass. Maybe it would be better just to pop this down here. You could do a fancy like try thing like that. How crazy is this? I mean, it's about the same. Alright, let's make sure this is all stage correct. The reason this didn't work last time was because we didn't accelerate all the way through the climb. So at the end, we weren't quite high enough and our speed wasn't fast enough to get us into a decent orbit before we attempted to travel. We're going to bring a little extra. I mean, this is maybe 700 extra delta V than necessary to do what we're attempting to do. It's about 3 grand more than I want to use. I mean, the advance we got on that project was only about 8 grand, but we already really kind of already paid for that launch. And doing this will pay out pretty well. Honestly, in stock KSB, like, money is rarely ever really actually an issue. I'm just trying to rush to get the buildings better before we start doing crazier stuff like moon landings. Though we might actually go to Minmus first, because Minmus has a little bit more of a forgiving surface, so we might land there first. But we're gonna go to the moon first. Say hi. Oh, it has Bill. Oh. That's awkward. I don't want that. Did we lose Velatine? No, everyone survived that mission last time. Or did the game crash and then so it's still up there? That mission might still be up there. That might be what's going on. Yeah, there it is. I got this. Let's recover this vehicle. 4 science. Ain't bad. Okay, cool. So now we got Jeb back. What a good refund on that. Okay, cool. And then... what's this crap? Rad. And then up here is... Here was yesterday's mission that we left midway because reasons. How long is this going to take to get home? Eventually this craft will get back, but it's going to take a while. It's going to be in orbit for quite a bit. It's pretty decent though. It has like an inclination of nothing, nearly. Whereas, yeah, it's pretty good. This is a really solid equatorial orbit. How much science do we have aboard this guy? We have quite a bit. We have quite a bit of science. I guess we could do an EVA report real quick. This is just high enough that she shouldn't be affected by... Oh. Ooh. The atmospheric drag still... She'll slowly start to burn up, so we'll just pop that real quick before terrible things happen. So it looks like we didn't do a temperature of this high, so we could... Okay, well we'll wait until we zip back up out of the atmosphere to grab the science from that. For flying high above. Does this count as flying high above? Well, I guess we'll find out. Available. What do we have on here? So we have... Okay. This pod is definitely getting hot. That should help slightly. Let's close that. And then back into space we go. Technically, I think the game counts space as 6950, I think is what it is. But to always be safe, you should just wait till you're at exactly 770. Usually the music starts right at 72, so pop out. Data, store the data. Good enough for that. Store that down there. Pop this baby open.
Service Arbom in the Aston station. Obviously they're...
Take that data. Can we reach this? Oh good, we can reach it. Perfect. Take that data. And pop back in. Okay, cool. Oh, I should do this then. Absorb. Good. Didn't even realize this was a mission. Now we just gotta recover it. Huh. And then technically we could pop this real quick. Alright, beautiful. And then let's grab it real fast, because you never know. Move the data, so we can't do that again, that locks it. Because you never know when, like, something terrible could happen to this service pod. And then we check the checklist. So we can still do. We still haven't done one of these guys at this altitude. There's some more science there. Okay. Boom. So that's all the science we could do this zone. Data. Wonderful. So, I'm going to zoom around, and as we come to the different biomes, we'll just grab the different EVA reports. Really going to milk this failed mission. You know, just because we didn't get to the moon doesn't mean we can't make as much science as we possibly can. Okay. Alright, here we go. We're flying high. Let's grab these guys. Fortunately, we don't have a scientist, so we can't reset the materials, observation materials, and get 28. That's pretty good. But it's alright, because 55. We'll make up for that in a plethora of simple oh, that's handy. We'll make up for it in the plethora of micro science transactions that we're getting from milking all those EVA reports. Sure we're burning through the atmosphere the right way. And where's the Perry? There we go. Well, good thing I don't have any life support mods, because Valentina might be in trouble of starving, but that's not the issue in stock, so nothing to worry about, really, honestly. So yeah, we're definitely coming down in this orbit because our apoapsy is below 700. So that was the last lap. Maybe we'll get lucky, come down over here somewhere in the water. That'd be nice. Check the trajectory. Ah. The next thing we should do is update our tracking center. That way we can see better more information on our orbits. Here's the Space Center. Hello, Space Center.
Will you attack them?
Because this is out, we can just ditch this, no problem. And that force should slow us down slightly more. 23. Yeah, that's pretty good. We should be in the 20s by the time we hit here, so that's kind of what we want to look for, so we don't burn up to death. But we also have this really handy heat shield, and we already grabbed the signs from this, so if this blows off, it'll be fine, it'll be okay. This heat shield should take a lot of the brunt and will protect the entire craft. We have tons of battery power, so we'll stay like this through the entire descent. Should be fine. So about 10 seconds till we begin truly descending. And there we go. Should be about roughly 50, like maybe 4 to 6 minutes before we crash. Game time, not real time. I still think we'll probably end up somewhere over here in the water. Right here on the transit line. That's pretty dope. If we land here in the early morning, that'd be cool. I already have... Yeah, there we go. Maybe if I use my god powers and speed time up, that'd be great. At 56. Okay. Yeah, we should be okay. We did a nice, slow, easy re-entry, so... Got rid of a lot of our speed early. And it also helps that we didn't go anywhere. Of course, our Kerbal astronaut is having the time of her life. You can't see because of all the heat. Once this dies down, you should be able to see into the cockpit. Alright, yep. Successful re-entry. Drag shoots away. Main chute is away. Luckily they will never tangle. Thanks to the power of video game physics. And that's a successful mission there. There you go. The only thing we don't have atmospheric, so we can grab that real quick. Oh wow, okay, wait, I know what I was doing. I was doing this. So I can do this. So I can do this. So I can do this. Awesome, cool. That was... should get us a little bit of science. It might be enough for the next node. Yeah, that's okay. That's perfect. That's almost the entire 115. That's almost... it's definitely two of these guys, for sure. Or we could consider solar panels. These are ground experiments, some antennas. But I think we'll just get some of this basic stuff. Yeah, there we go. Pretty. We're literally just going to launch that same mission again, because I am extremely confident that this rocket could get to the moon and back, and we're just gonna go with this one because I'm even more confident that that one for sure will go to the moon and back. Oh, let's see real quick. What's the SRB? Okay. Bunch of dumb ones. This one is just, you just throw them into the orbit, put them in inclination, and then they get a free experience points. And this one will give you a free level 1 without ever having to send them to space. So, but it does cost money. This one doesn't cost money, huh? Check that, we'll use that. Everything else we'll eventually get to. What is this? Fly by. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. This next. How much is the tracking? 150 grand. It's super important that we get that though. I want the tracked avionics. Let's go. Yeah, we'll send Jeb. So it might have been better to send Valentine, because she has that experience. So it'll be easier. Yeah, I think this went way more smooth than previously. I'm gonna go to about maybe 79, just to have some wiggle room. Alright, so that stage will go crash back on Earth. Or Kerbin, or wherever. And then this little engine will push us up and out. Or not. Are we really gonna... Maybe I'm underestimating how crappy this little puddle engine is. that balance between shooting this as fast as we can and then jumping this up as quick as we can as well. Maybe it's a good thing that we had that extra 700 odd. Uh, 22 is the orbital speed that we're looking for. So that's officially secure. And that's space. Okay, so now I've set the moon as the target. As you can see, these 2 points, the ascending node and the descending node and the ascending node, is roughly kind of where our orbits intersect. We're roughly just slightly off of the plane. The Mun has a doesn't let me have. The Mun has an inclination of like less than 1 against Kerbin and ourselves, so it's relatively simple to get to. We don't have to do too much of an inclination burn, and we did a relatively good job of getting an equatorial orbit going here. So that makes one less thing to worry about. We're going to come over here to this descending node, right? And that's where we're going to add our orbits. We're going to come down here. We're going to come to our, it's basically where we intersect with them on the orbit, right? The periaps is also the lowest point, which will shoot our apoapsy all the way up to a point somewhere right around here where we'll intercept with the moon. And then we'll mess around with it a little bit. So here we're going to basically crash into the moon and then launch out of Kerbin. So it's pretty decent. Found it quickly. So we'll just kind of sort of basically this way we don't have to really do all the math for the home-in transfer. But we're not even going to do a home-in transfer. This is going to be a straight burn to the moon and then back. So about 800. Okay, that's pretty good. That right there is pretty good. So let's just tweak it slightly. No. Because the idea is to get we'll get 2 money counters. Interesting. The idea is to get it close to the Mun. This is actually pretty close. 7,000, 700,000. Like, that's pretty good. 700,000. And it's at 800 almost exactly, which is pretty good. And then it will so we'll come up here and then we'll put our periapsis up right about here. So the idea is to try and use the moon to whip us back to Kerbin, using as little energy as we possibly can. Alright, cool. And then that'll whip us up and around, and then what we can do is, when we get there, we can use the force of the Mun to essentially bring us back. As you can see, this whole thing will basically loop us around, and then we'll re-hit the Mun again. That's a cool little thing. Usually it doesn't happen. So right when we get into the influence, we should start burning to come right back to, that's what, 600. That's still really high. And then we can burn right about there. And burning there will bring us right back around to a little lower of an orbit. If we do this well enough, it will burn us just below the line, 701, so we're almost there, so let's tweak it. We'll tweak it. Just enough to basically get us... Oh wait, that actually crashes us into... I should have been paying closer attention. Alright, let's adjust this a little bit. We're looking here at this number, and we want it to not be... a negative like that. We want it to be... maybe it is... basing this off of the MUN because that's where we'll be, so maybe we do want to bring this down. Yeah, 52. Yeah, that would be perfect because then that will drag us down, but it also won't blow us up. Okay. The next time we should start our burn is in about 22 minutes. It's going to cost us exactly 800 meters per second delta V, which I love. That's a cool number. And this is going to cost 58, 90. Okay, so we'll have enough to do this as well, because this will be about 200-ish, right? 7, 8, 5, carry 1, 6. So it'll be like, yeah, 157 and some change, I guess, 158. So that's not bad. We'll have tons left over. We'll have about 300 left over. So that would mean we could do this orbit, come to here, and then when we get down, while we're using the atmosphere to slow down, we'll also burn to drop our apoapsis all the way down. That way we can do a nice little 3 orbit deacceleration orbits and then not blow up and die in the atmosphere. So locked into the maneuver node, we're going to time skip a little bit here. Oh, we missed the burn. Great. Did we run out of electrical charge? No. Alright, why aren't you responding, game? Oh, because I'm still time warping. So this is going to look wildly different, but it'll be okay. Only 4 minutes have passed, so it won't be too terrible. Once I unlock MechJeb, I'm gonna basically always use the auto time warping feature, because manually time warping and non-time warping is such a terrible gamble. As you can see, now we're burning 4 minutes past. Should have probably also really have taken Valentina, because she could use her level 1 piloting skills to lock on the maneuver node, and Jeb can't. So it's going to be a risky mission all the way around. We are already out of Delta V. Alright. Guess we're scrapping this entire... We're gonna take a way bigger engine, for sure. This puddle just doesn't do what it needs to do. Because that's the second time that it's just not been enough. Though we will be able to get some science done. This won't be a total loss. This is technically a new zone, so... But it is 11 grand down the drain, so... I'm going to reiterate this rocket, swap out this engine with something with the 909, and that should definitely get us. Ooh, we're coming in way too fast. This little, the experiment might blow off. Oh no. Oh, we might be lucky, but damn, we are coming in way too fast. Oh yeah, our periapsis was at 23. Okay, well there's a good chance this entire thing's gonna blow up, so that's gonna be great. Jeb is cursed. There's no way around it. This poor little dude is cursed. Okay, there we go. We can just slow down a little bit more. Okay. Looks like Jeb's gonna survive this one. He's a lucky guy. This I can deploy a little way lower. Or maybe I spoke too soon. We might land on a mountain and he might roll off the side of it and die like last time.
Hit me with the horn, 20! Keep making noise!
I would love if there was just a planet full of dogs. Someone should make that a mod, where it's just a bunch of space dogs who just live happily ever after, forever and ever. What would you name that planet? Of space dogs. Looks like chute's deployed, so we're not going to die in a fire. That's a plus. And ooh, we're floating up here. Let's grab. I guess we already kind of sort of. Gotta be quick, gotta be quick. Report. Yeah, boy. So we'll get some cheesy science while we're up here. Did I do this already? Nice. And boop. And not a complete loss. Got some science out of that. Got a lot of science out of that, actually. We got 125 science from that mission, which was a complete failure. So, okay. It cost us, what, 11,000 to launch that rocket. We recovered 1,000 of it, so... Got a world's milestone, so we got spacewalk, and we broke... So that's some money from that. This was the last time, and that was the last time, so... It wasn't like we actually made... We lost tons of money, but we definitely got a bunch of science, so that's good news. We'll grab this. We'll grab that. And now we'll reiterate the design, I think, for this rocket. And this rocket, 100% guaranteed 4,000%, absolutely, positively, will look at the moon. Or maybe, I don't know. I still really would like to shove in a scientist on these missions, but it's okay. We're gonna flop out this piece of junk, and we're gonna put in... I could have swore I unlocked it. Here you are. Put in... Yeah, boy, the 909. This thing has gotten me through so many dumb missions that just should not have worked. This is a cool tank. Like, it's wild. You could just see right off the bat 2003. It is heavier. Like, if we weren't depending on this to also circleize, it would probably be a lot better. Plus 60. 25. It would probably be a lot better at its job. We'll also probably switch out to the 45, and that will just kind of push us up and out. It'll guarantee that we'll really get that orbit. A little less delta V, just because these engines are heavier and a little less efficient. They burn through fuel a little quicker, but they produce so much more thrust, so they'll kind of guarantee you. They'll guarantee you'll get into the orbit you want to be in a lot quicker than the previous iterations. How big is this guy? That's cute. Little tiny engine. It literally has 7 kilonewtons of thrust. That's cute. I almost feel like it would get us more Delta V if I popped. Like if I used the 45 swivel and maintained the 303, like this would actually get us a little further along. But not by much. 1.4 thrust rate ratio. 1.60. I mean, yeah, this just has a better... It just has a better thrust ratio, and it just has, like... I think it's worth it. I think paying the money is worth it for the 909. But, I mean, it's also just bias. This guy. There we go. I also have a bigger tank. So we could... save on part count. And honestly, I'm gonna throw in just a little more fuel. Alright, I'm gonna throw in just a little more fuel. Oh, and for aesthetics, let's do this. There we go. Alright. Oh, wow, there's even a smaller fuel tank. Wait. Is this... Oh, it is. Yeah, okay, so it's the next size up. Is this an adapter for that? Oh, it is. That's pretty rad. Wait, does that mean I have... No, I don't. I don't have the larger engines yet, so it doesn't matter. Do we want to include anything else on the actual... Did we grab any new signs? No. We have the same signs as before, okay. Okay. What's the mission? Did we still have that mission to... Which one is that? SO 615. Is this guy? Suborbital trajectory, though. We'll make a special mission for that. Okay, that's unusual. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to stage these a little differently. I'm going to take 1 and 3, and I'm going to have them go off first, and then I'll have 2 and 4 go off, and I will have the main engine. Oh, come on. So the main engine will start right off the bat, and then yeah. So kind of a little bit of, kind of spreads it out a little bit. That way we don't blow it all at once. And that should be a little more like efficient and get us, save a little more in this tank for us to get a little higher then. And then we can actually use this to burn partly for the transit. Alright, so let's up the iteration on this guy. Okay. Jeb's now at 1, so that's good news. I still think he's cursed, so we're gonna put Valentine in there. We'll have her go. Staging's good, everything's good. Parachutes, battery, engines. 4,000 when it's spread, but that's whatever. Sometimes the calculator is wrong. If this one doesn't work, then that means I'm gonna probably have to actually build this longer, or maybe make a third stage with more. Ooh. All right. Let's double check the staging on that one. So this one and okay, yep, they're wrong. This should absolutely positively work. Oh yeah, I'll probably hop on the multiplayer server after this mission. Yeah, much better. Maybe it is just more efficient just to launch all 4 at once. Yeah, I downloaded the folder and everything, so I'm ready to go. Yeah, this worked a lot better, because I mean, we were already pushing at the edge. And it's not a full second stage tank. But actually, it's just because Valentine's not fucking cursed like Jeb is. fighting the atmosphere a little bit there. Alright, we'll wait till we get completely out of the atmosphere. And that will let us burn a little better. We'll adjust that, and then that will help with our efficiency a little bit. And let's go. Just basically burn until well, there's a good chance that this stage probably won't have enough to make a full orbit. We might want to make the stage a little bigger if we ever reiterate this rocket. And beautiful. Okay. Got 18 to spare. That should be enough for a two-way trip. So we'll add our phase there. We get a little better information now that we have the upgraded station, so we can see better now.
That is the guild burger.
Alright. So looks like there'll be 2 moon encounters in this path. 2 days. That puts us... Okay. Alright, cool. Is this 746? Okay, I like that. 45-second burn time. Okay. Still a couple seconds late to burn, but should be fine. We're gonna have to do a boost either here or here, so we don't crash into the curtain. Luckily I have enough fuel to make dumb mistakes like this.
Marcelo Green, this is Suhaima.
There's no Shakra. There.